Hello everybody, welcome back. Belal Muhammad's path to victory against Leon Edwards. I've said before he's kind of being overlooked, but I wanted to kind of have a bit of a video idea today and kind of explain how I think if Belal Muhammad was to get it done against Leon Edwards by decision, come on, it's not going to be a knockout. How else would he win a world title? After a career of decisions, you don't just win a title by knockout, or do you? We'll talk about that. I'm going to be going through a game plan I think Belal Muhammad should best integrate in order to beat Leon Edwards. And by the way, disclaimer, you can already tell, look at me. I'm not an expert. I'll never claim to be an expert. It's just my opinion. And I really appreciate the love I've been getting, in all seriousness, lately over on the TikTok especially. A lot of private messages, a lot of comments just being really nice, which is really thank you. I appreciate you all. I really do. And look, listen, let's get straight into it. Leon Edwards and Belal Muhammad, it's happening this weekend. I'll be going live on here, on YouTube, doing a live watch along. 1,000 that I do get over on my TikTok. If you want to come over to here, you can. If you don't want to, you don't want to. It is what it is. But we'll be going live. We'll be enjoying the fights. It should be a good one. Anyway, so this fight should be really interesting to see how it plays out. I don't suspect it will be the most entertaining fight in the world. Me and Don Dada went over that on the Don J MMA podcast. You know, he rightfully said, I don't think this will be an entertaining fight. I don't either. But Leon Edwards was much more aggressive the first time out against Belal Muhammad than we used to seeing Leon. We used to seeing Leon be a bit more relaxed. We used to seeing Leon be a bit more cautious, one shot at a time. Feint leg kick, feint front kick, feint jab, feint switch stance, right hand. One shot at a time, methodical. Kind of reminds me of Israel Adesanya. And if I kind of point this out to you lot let me know if you agree with this. Israel Adesanya once upon a time, last year was champion. He fought Sean Strickland, who was being written off by everyone, who had a few stoppages in his career, but wasn't really known for being a hard puncher. In his own strongest department, before the fight, everyone, and if you're saying you didn't pick Israel Adesanya to win that fight, you're doing a little thing called lying, which no one respects, because no one picked Sean Strickland to win that fight. Sean Strickland got in there and outclassed Izzy. He seemed hungrier in there. He seemed like a fearless contender, and he put volume on Izzy. He didn't respect Izzy's distance. He didn't try and take Izzy down, and he's a different fighter to Belal Muhammad. But what I will say is, there's a similarity in how Leon Edwards fights and Israel Adesanya fights, in that one shot at a time. If you don't raise your level, neither will Leon Edwards. Showed this against Colby Covington. Showed this against Deuce. He will match your level, and he'll be fine doing that. You know, he won't overexert himself. He's a champion that doesn't fight like a contender like an Alex Pereira. He's a champion that you have to beat him to beat him. Otherwise, he's going to be happy coasting. He's a champion that says, okay, what have you got for me? Not what have I got for you? Which is how he fought Belal Muhammad the first time. I don't think he'll fight Belal Muhammad the same way this time. I think it's going to be a, what have you got for me, Belal? What have you got for me? Belal Muhammad needs to answer that question. So let's go off a game plan, building off that kind of analogy, or that kind of whatever. I don't know what to call it. I failed English in school. Whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. So, Belal Muhammad against Leon Edwards. Here's how I think Belal should beat him. First of all, Belal, and I repeat, I repeat it again, cannot be on the back foot in this fight. Ever. Not one time. He needs to be on the front foot. And he needs to not respect Leon Edwards' distance, right? Leon's a longer guy. Leon's a quicker guy. Leon's a sharper guy. Belal's got to be fearless in that sense. And that includes the possibility that he runs into a head kick like he did in the first fight and gets wobbled. That includes the possibility that he overexerts and misses shots and gets made to look stupid. On the feet, it can't be pretty. It can't. Not like it was against Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns does not have he doesn't even have anywhere near the intelligence Leon Edwards has. So Belal switching stances and throwing head kicks constantly. Leon will read it. He will read it. If he doesn't at first, he will start to. He will feint. He will draw the reaction out of Belal. He will chop at the lead leg. Belal switches southpaw. Bang. Outside low kick. Belal switches to orthodox. Inside low kick straight away. Leon will make these reads. So these kind of clunky, trying to be clever striking movements that Belal can do, we don't want to see that. What we want to see is Belal come out and shoot a takedown straight away, in my opinion. Now, the wrestling for Belal is really key because Leon Edwards, especially against the fence, when he does get taken down and he has got good takedown defence, you know, Belal can't get discouraged by, you know, failing a takedown attempt or 2 or 3 or 4. He's got to keep doing it. He has got to make Leon work. I said this to Don Dada again on the Don J MMA podcast. Kamaru Usman, when he put Leon Edwards in that second fight, if we remember, and it was at elevation, it was, but Leon Edwards in the first Kamaru Usman fight, and even the second Kamaru Usman fight years later, he can get overwhelmed. He can. He can get overcrowded. If you overload Leon Edwards, if you really overload him and you don't give him time to think, he can be really, really overwhelmed. Usman showed this. Kamaru Usman does not have anywhere near the level of striking Leon Edwards did. And Belal doesn't even have near the striking Usman did. But Usman was throwing these winging shots both fights and mixing them in with takedowns, takedown winging shots. Leon was like a computer getting overloaded with cyber attacks. He just could not fight them all off. The malware was getting inside of him. Not in that way. Not in that way. I mean, it was over... You know what I'm saying? It was a good analogy to start with. But I want to see Belal Muhammad be malware. I don't want to see Belal Muhammad be a VPN. You know, I don't want to see Belal Muhammad protect himself, stay safe, stay hidden like a VPN. I want to see him turn into malware and infect Leon Edwards' game plan, which will be distance, distance, feint, feint, parry, jab, left hand, switch stance, outside low kick. Keep it simple, anticipate the takedown. You know, I think a lot of level changes for Belal. I think not as many jabs, get in there, wide swinging hooks, crowd Leon against the fence, get him on the back foot, crowd him against the fence, make him work, fight in the clinch, step on his foot, step on his toes. A very Kamaru Usman-esque performance. But what Belal has shown that Usman hasn't shown is he has jiu-jitsu. And that jiu-jitsu can be a massive factor going into this fight, in my opinion. You know, Leon's shown and done mistakes like giving his back several times in several fights when he does get taken down. Leon is an elite level grappler in his own right, so it's not going to be easy to get him there. But it's about making him work. It's about overloading that data. And for me, it's about crowding him. Keep using that word. Crowd Leon Edwards. So the blueprint for Belal is to crowd him. When Leon's at distance, close the distance quick. Head kicks, switching stances into shots, uppercuts from distance, just something wild to close distance, a different look every time. I don't know whether Belal can keep that kind of pace up for 5 rounds. Time will have to tell. But in my opinion, the best way for Belal to beat Leon, key talking points is quick distance control, close the distance quick, accept what you're outmatched in, which is distance striking, which is looking pretty, keeping it fundamental. Belal's not that guy, so don't be. Don't try to be that guy. Colby Covington tried to be that guy. Why? You're not that guy. You're not going to beat Leon in this technical distance fight where you're shooting takedowns from a distance, where you're level changing, where you're feinting the jab, where you're feinting the hook, where you're trying to level change, give different looks. You ain't beating Leon at that game. You're not. He's too intricate. He's got too many dimensions. And because he is a show me what you've got champion, not a this is what I've got champion, he'll sit back and he'll say, cool, I'll pick you off if that's what you've got. What Belal needs to show him what he's got is unorthodox hunger. Let that hunger translate into the fight and force Leon into an uncomfortable fight. I think that's the best way Belal Muhammad can win this fight. You lot let me know. I've yapped on for over 10 minutes. I know I have. But I can't get it out of my head. I wonder if this is going to be a bit of a Strickland-Izzy kind of case where Belal just crunches Leon, crowds Leon, puts him in an uncomfortable fight. Let's see. Thank you all very much for watching. I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.